Hey man, it's a good mood today, man. Everybody, happy Sunday. Hope y'all enjoying life out there, watching, listening. Um, so if you're keeping up with us all year, we've been doing 20-year anniversaries and anniversaries for albums. And
10 year.
today, 10 year. I'm sorry, Jeezy was the 20-year. My apologies. Yeah, 10 years, and then we did the best albums of the last 20 years. And today, because yesterday was the actual anniversary date, right? Like
Yep,
exactly
the
10 years
20th.
ago. Well, for What a Time to Be Alive. Yesterday was the official 10-year,
Yeah,
correct?
nigga, September
Yeah.
20th, I meant.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was okay. Yeah. So What a Time to Be Alive dropped 10 years ago. Um, I'm gonna start here before I give my take. Instant reaction to What a Time to Be Alive. Like your instant reaction if you remember it in real time.
I was in the barber shop and I think I was on Twitter, I want to say. Maybe Instagram is one or the other. And
Mm-hmm.
I just saw that shit get announced for this was on I want to say this was like the week before. This was the week before, and then they said next week that shit's coming out. I said, what? Like that shit really, it stopped everything in the barbershop. I was like, yo, whew, Drake and Future dropping the album together. Like everybody just stopped doing shit, started talking to each other.
That shit. Will, if you
Mm.
remember where
I don't I don't remember where I was. I remember um I remember like I know I played that shit like right away pretty much as soon as possible. I don't remember exactly where I was though at the time.
she did
Let me
375.
see.
Gosh damn. September 20th. Shout out to Virgo season.
September 20th. Ooh, actually I was out of town when this dropped. I
Where
know
was you
for
out of
sure I
town
was out
10
of
years
tour.
ago? The
I
first
can't
Chris
say
Brown
on
tour,
here.
second Chris Brown tour. Nigga was already 10 years in by that point. Fucking
I
10th
can't I can't
anniversary Chris
I was
Brown
out
tour.
I was out of town. I was out of town on here for sure when this dropped. 2015, September 20th. I was for sure out of town. What was that, like a Sunday? I
Uh,
mean, nah, that was what is that? Was that a Tuesday?
that would have
I feel like it was a
been.
weird day. I feel like it had to be a weird day. Like it don't sound like it's supposed to be, but because when this dropped originally, wasn't it like a tape? Like it wasn't really an album type shit.
It dropped on, it came out on, what's that shit? OVO Radio. That's where they premiered it at, on OVO Radio. And I want to say
I
that
knew
was on a
it was
Sunday.
a Sunday. It was
Yeah, yeah.
that's why I was
It
like,
was
this had to be
Sunday.
a Sunday.
Hmm.
Yep. But yeah, no, I was out. I was out. I was outside.
I just started to be outside because I just turned 21. So I got to just be outside at the start of this, actually be in clubs and shit. Um, from music perspective, this felt like y'all remember like how there was like that 2 to 3 year run. So post Watch the Throne coming out, it was all like, oh, what collab we gonna get next? And it was like, oh, we gonna
Hmm.
get Drake Wayne or yeah, like it was everybody was like crazy for like what's the next big collab album? And we never really got it post Watch the
Right.
Throne, like on that level. And again, somebody who's and I'm not like the Future guy by any means, but I understand Future's place. This felt like this was it. These two guys, as popular as you can possibly be in this space, coming together to put an album out together, like that feeling will always be dope to me because I love those kind of albums, even though we don't realistically get enough of them, in my opinion. Um, I'll ask Tony, because you were a bigger Future fan in the moment, because this always was the question I heard is like, who? There's this video on Twitter that always populates, and it's like, oh, Drake dog walked Future on the trap beat, and it was like Future wasn't
Hmm.
used to that, and so you kind of see them in the studio. Who do you feel like, if you could separate, was the lead performer on this project?
On this project, it was Future for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, it's definitely Future, but they they both what Drake brought to the album was like very important. If it was going to be a collab album and not just a Future tape as it was originally intended to be, if there was going to be a collab thing, Drake did what was necessary, and it was like it's one of those things where. he added just enough Drake. It was just enough Drake to where it didn't feel like kind of too much, if you will.
Mm-hmm. The excuse me. So that's when I was listening back to it. Because obviously, like we kind of got the late reminder for, but I was listening to it yesterday, and it does feel like a true collab project where a lot of times when you do these collab kind of things, one person can feel overbearing, um, feel like they're doing more than the other. It's like, oh, they're both on the project, but you can kind of clearly tell who is leaned for. This was a
Hmm.
really, really good mix, in my opinion, where it was like they both had the records they got to shine. Drake got to get his shit off at the end with the 30 for 30 freestyle. Um, the excuse me, this was as well done, in my opinion, from a collab perspective as you could do. Um, Will, who you think shined more on the album?
No, I think it was. I agree with Tony as far as it being Future. I think it was different. I think Drake held his own, like doing basically this style for an entire, for the entirety of the tape, basically. And I think it was just different, like not different because of course he dibbled and dabbled like as far as features go, but hearing him do it for a whole tape, or album or however they wanted to classify it, it was. I mean, I think Drake did this shit on here too,
Hmm.
but it was definitely Drake. It was Future bringing Drake into Future's world, basically.
The This is one of
And
Drake's
it's
like
funny, real quick too. I was just thinking, I was like, ain't that Pullman line on 30 for 30, Tony? I was like, that's funny how we kind of pulled that shit
Yeah, it is.
uh
It is.
out of there, but it's actually on. Yeah, that Mercedes Pullman line is definitely on 30 for 30.
the and I forget when we were talking about this when we were doing we've done the other reviews ranking the albums, and I wanted to kind of expand on it. Was this Drake's best career move, aligning himself with Future in this manner?
Well, that's a good question. Definitely doing that on the
Oh,
back end of the Meek shit, it put him in the quote unquote the streets, if you will, which allowed him to kind of do the
mm-hmm.
things that he did in the following years. Um, because he was always like big with he was Drake was always like a big rapper. I feel like he always got
Yeah.
like respect, at least where I'm from. We talking like Baltimore and my city and stuff like that. But nobody would have thought that like Drake wasn't like a guy in that way that you look at as like way people looked at Future and Meek around that time
Mm-hmm.
of life. So like him being able to get the best of Meek in that situation and then following it up, coming back with Future and on this album definitely opened him up to the street guys, I think.
Yeah, this was and I'll say second best career move just out of respect. Like signing with Wayne was his best career move, but that was also the start of it, so it's a little weird. This run though of like the Meek shit, what a time to be alive in views was like, again, we talk about like that transformation to where like when niggas get out of here, that's one of the all time like, man, you got out of here runs. Um, Will, what you think as far as like Drake aligning himself with Future, um, and getting like kind of like Tony said, getting on more trap beats, and because I don't feel like we felt. I rephrase it this way: I don't feel like Drake got the Vulture theme when he was, or the Vulture tag when he was doing shit with Future. I feel like that shit started to come afterwards as he started doing more songs with younger artists. I don't know if y'all agree or disagree with that.
I mean, I would agree as far as that's when he kind of started getting it, which is weird. That I mean, because he did it with Future, even though he
Yes.
wasn't he wasn't he wasn't who he was at this point when he did it with Future, but
Mm-hmm.
um, I think even when you look at it throughout his career, he did it like that was just what he was doing. Um, but what was the original question? As far you said, was that his best move as far as aligning
Yeah,
himself
his
with
best
Future?
like career, yeah, his career move to align himself with Future, and he was kind of separating himself from like the other people we had seen him rap or do collaborative projects in the past.
I think so. Just because, I mean, I think just because of the quality of music that they put out when they work together. Like, I think, I think you seen that like what they did together even before What a Time to Be Alive. It worked like they had something different.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was a good move.
No, 1,000%. Do you think? And we always kind of talk about from the Drake perspective. For Future, how big of a move was this? Where again, he obviously he's always going to have his core fan base where he's from, the kind of music he puts out, but now him also proving like he could also do it with a superstar. And do you feel like this is? And again, I'm deferring to Tony because Tony was listening to it more in real time as far as Future. Do you feel like this was Future going into like that next level of superstardom, or do you feel like he was already there?
No, the thing that pushed Future into the next level of superstardom was DS2. Um, this, if I'm being real, this did nothing for for Future. Like as far as him making the album with Drake, like this didn't do anything for him. Like he was going to do everything he did, rather he did this with Drake or not. This was a bigger moment for the fans for sure. Um, as far as just being able to hear these two 40 minutes and on tracks like this. But when you think about Future's trajectory at the time, like it was already headed upward. And this,
Mm-hmm.
you could argue, I'm not, I don't want to because it'd be all day, but you could argue this is his peak. You could argue he did more even after this. So that
Mm-hmm.
that depends on how you feel about it. But no, this wasn't like his biggest thing or anything like that. But it was an important moment that he gave the fans because he could have not done this and everything would have been all right. But he knew that the fans would have really loved this, and we did. So that was dope.
No, 1,000%. And that's what I think is so dope about these collab projects. Again, like people wanting that. Again, post watch are throwing like a Drake and Wayne project or a Drake and Ross project or a Cole and Kendrick project. Like I feel like not getting that also helped to when this moment came together. Like, oh, we finally gonna get one or a second one again. If Watch Throne's the first for people's around this time frame. Um, we do it with all of them. What's y'all top three from this?
Digital
Mm,
Dash, one, uh,
Fire.
30 for 30 freestyle, and it's between that third one is between Diamonds Dancing, Scholarships, or Jersey. I would
You're not
lean
a Jumpman person?
Jersey. Come on, man, get the fuck out of here. I would lean Jersey, but I think I would lean Jersey out of
I think that
those
did the
just because it
most.
just because it gave us you do what you want when you popping, which is very simple but very true.
Yeah, yeah. Will, if you're doing top three from this, and it's Jumpman, you're
top
number one.
three.
You from
It
Chicago
is
now. You got
not.
damn.
It is not. For me, 30 for 30 was probably my favorite. It was number one for me. Digital Dash would be number two, and Diamonds Dancing would be number four. But I don't know. I fucked with On the Plug too though.
Unplug was
If we
fire.
had to, and this is, if we had to remove 30 for 30, because that's just a Drake record.
Hmm.
So like keeping it in
It
the
would be.
concept of like it being a
Just
collab album,
the
like 30 for
collab
30 can't be
songs.
in. Yeah, because 30
Okay.
for 30, I think we'd all agree is like Drake was going fucking crazy on that, but that's
So
just a him record.
it'll be me for me. It'll be Digital Dash. It'll be Digital Dash. It'll be On the Plug, and it'll be. And I guess I ain't even putting it in order at this point, but Diamonds Dancing.
Yeah,
So
no, the order
Digital
don't
Dash,
matter. Just
Diamonds
like your
Dancing,
top
and
three.
On
I
the
would
Plug
go
for sure.
I would go Digital
So
Dash, Diamonds Dancing, and Scholarships.
I would go Dash, Dancing, and Plug. Again, 30 for 30 was fucking crazy, but that because Jersey's also just a Future record only, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is yeah. So I mean, if you want to be a part of one of the coolest, most unique communities, don't forget to like and subscribe.